The Tardis. It's the legendary symbol of Doctor Who as a franchise. When you see this, you instantly recognise it, no matter if you've been a fan of Doctor Who for 60 years or 6 minutes. But today, we ask a big question: can you actually destroy it? Greetings everyone, I'm Jack and welcome to Tardis Central. If you want to keep up to date on all the latest Doctor Who news, lore and more, then hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Tardis Central. You can also follow us on social media for daily updates on the Doctor Who universe. Today we're taking a deep dive into a really interesting topic, the TARDIS. We're coming on to 60 years of it taking the Doctor and their friends all through time and space. In that time, they faced considerable dangers. This iconic blue box has been thrown into the Satan pit, almost cooked by the Daleks, and shot multiple times. The Doctor even took it down the M25 once upon a time, so I'd say it's got more patience than most of us. One thing remains uncertain: can the Doctor's TARDIS be destroyed? And what would happen if it were destroyed? Our investigation begins in a Series 1 final, The Parting of Ways. In it, the Doctor sent Rose home in the TARDIS remotely, with one of the most heartbreaking scenes in the show's history. When the TARDIS arrives in London, it powers down, seemingly forever. The ship is, for all intents and purposes, dead. But we know that the TARDIS is alive. It has a heart, something that Rose was well aware of. With a lot of effort, thanks Jackie, the TARDIS was able to be revived. It's easy to think of a scene of them trying to tow open the ship as some form of TARDIS CPR. So, while the ship can die, there's a good chance it could be constantly revived. Bit like Regeneration, I guess. Although the TARDIS is a very, very powerful machine, its survival did cause the whole Bad Wolf situation, sending a powerful echo throughout time and space. Just goes to show, if you like existing normally, playing around with the heart of the TARDIS is probably best avoided. Okay, so many enemies of the Doctor have always plotted to destroy the TARDIS. After all, without the TARDIS, the Doctor wouldn't be able to stop them. It makes sense, but the TARDIS is notoriously difficult to destroy. It's been pulled through time and space for thousands of years, so the chances of a poorly planned Dalek scheme destroying it are unlikely to make too much of a dent. That doesn't stop them from trying though. The episode Journey's End from Series 4 saw one of the biggest Dalek armadas we've ever seen in the series. To add to the damage, the episode also marked the return of Davros, the creator of the Daleks. He's debatably the Doctor's biggest enemy, apart from the Master, so if anyone could strand the Doctor, it's probably him. If it weren't for Donna, who was still inside, he probably would have succeeded. He lured the Doctor outside of the TARDIS and then dropped it into a fiery bomb at the ship's heart. The heart of the crucible, or rather core, was made up of Z-neutrino energy, which powered the reality bomb. This did considerable damage to the ship, with the flames visible from the inside. The Doctor, negotiating with Davros, thought his ship was gone. It was only thanks to the Metacrisis Doctor and Donna that the TARDIS was saved. This probably goes to show that the TARDIS could actually be destroyed, but it would be a little hard when the Doctor's got a plan, and they always do. Looking at this scene, if a Metacrisis Doctor had not been created, then it is highly likely the TARDIS would have been destroyed there and then. Only thanks to the Metacrisis Doctor knowing how to fly the ship saved it and Donna. Take him out of the equation, and this might have been the end of a time-travelling blue box. So there you go, we have one way the TARDIS could have been destroyed. And I guess one way it could die. It's not just the Doctor's enemies that have caused the TARDIS harm though. The Doctor themselves has also caused the ship more than enough harm. We're not just talking about the terminally ill broken Charmeleon circuit either, which keeps the ship permanently in the shape of a police box. The Doctor had tried to fix the TARDIS a few times, such as an attack of the Cybermen, but always ends up just as damaged as when it started. These fixing efforts were even more prevalent back in the Doctor's exile, back in the 70s or 80s, depending on the dating protocol. The ship was stranded on Earth, disabled by the Time Lords. The Doctor, then played by John Pertwee, was often seen improving components and playing around with the console in an attempt to fix it. Once, in the Serial Inferno, with the entire console somehow removed from the ship, it landed the Doctor in an apocalyptic wasteland of an alternate universe. He barely escapes with his life, although it doesn't deter him from continuing to play around with the TARDIS for another few seasons. Not even the Doctor can get the TARDIS working again correctly, and these broken parts probably shouldn't be toyed with in isolation. Just saying. Again, we know that the TARDIS can be manually disabled, never to operate again without the right know-how. When even the genius of the Doctor fails to bypass the Time Lord's technological meddling, it's a safe assumption that a disabled TARDIS is probably as good as gone. While technically not destroyed, there'd be no more gallivanting around and saving the universe. It's not just technological issues that the Doctor caused for the poor ship. On several occasions, the Doctor regenerated inside the Tardis. In the time of the Doctor, we saw that regeneration energy is strong enough to make a dent in a Dalek ship, so this is something that's really not to be messed with. When David Tennant's 10th Doctor regenerated in The End of Time, it sent the TARDIS into a whir. The ship's inside was falling apart, flames rising and the console sparking. It gave the Doctor no option but for the ship to crash land, leaving the ship inaccessible for most of the next episode, the 11th hour. The damage was so bad that the ship's interior was completely revamped, offering this first proper explanation for the change in the TARDIS interior layout. The same thing happened at the start of Jodie Whittaker's tenure as the 13th Doctor, with Peter Capaldi's regeneration sending the Doctor out of the TARDIS as they helplessly fell towards Earth. This regeneration caused the ship to become totally inaccessible to the Doctor, left in a loop materializing and dematerializing on a desolate planet. Once again, the destruction caused by the regeneration caused the interior to be totally revamped. There's a very obvious reason the interior was revamped on these occasions, with the production team being changed and a new star wanted. Not only did we have a new Doctor, but a new showrunner with their own unique vision of the series. But the series has established on 2 separate occasions that regeneration energy can cause a lot of damage to the Doctor's TARDIS. While the Time Lord disabling the TARDIS just meant it couldn't travel anywhere, the interruption caused by regeneration meant that the TARDIS could not be opened. The Doctor was stranded outside of the ship, and it fixed itself, eventually. A similar thing happened in the 13th Doctor's episode, Eve of the Daleks. Sometimes the TARDIS reboots itself, but other times the Doctor is forced to reboot it. Following the damage caused by the flux, the Doctor force reboots the TARDIS to get rid of the anomalous webs and extra doors. This reboot caused a time loop in a storage facility, where the Doctor and her friends Yaz and Dan battle with some Daleks. Saved from death on a handful of occasions as a result. Well hey, who knew that a time machine simply turning off and on again could do so much damage to space and time? I guess it's kind of obvious really. It just demonstrates how much the TARDIS is a machine that not even the Doctor fully understands. After thousands of years travelling together, the Doctor still finds himself surprised. It's something that we, the audience, will never fully grasp either, nor will the Doctor's foes. If this is the sort of thing the TARDIS does accidentally, it's probably best left to its own devices. Much of how the TARDIS works is a bit of a mystery. Everything that's revealed leaves half a dozen more questions in its place. Such is the case with the Eye of Harmony. Sometimes it's little more than a power source, yet sometimes it's the thing that makes Gallifreyan time travel possible. How it ended up in the Doctor's TARDIS is a cause of some debate. With so many contradictory accounts, it's a little unclear. Some say a copy of the Eye exists within every TARDIS, while in others, the Doctor's power source is an actual part of the Eye. One thing that's not up for debate though, is just how powerful it is. Even when it was just partially opened in the TV movie, we saw it projecting the Doctor's past to the Master. It also ended up helping the 8th Doctor regain his memories, which gives it a deep connection to the web of time. If it were left open, all the way though, the TARDIS would destroy many nearby planets. Surely, this would affect the TARDIS' ability to function. It also lines up with how the Eye was reimagined for the new series, with the episode Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS showing as a star on the verge of becoming a black hole. If a black hole were to open in the TARDIS, not only would the universe be in danger, but the TARDIS would be, for all intents and purposes, destroyed. Just goes to show that if the Doctor's TARDIS is destroyed, most of the universe would probably go with it. Let's just hope that's not part of the universe we occupy if it ever does happen. Well hey. Now, there are more TARDISes out there than just the Doctor's though, and some of these have been destroyed. While the Doctor's TARDIS destruction would probably cause most of the universe to also be destroyed, getting rid of the other TARDISes doesn't seem to do that. Take, for instance, the episode Revolution of the Daleks. To defeat a Dalek squadron, the Doctor lures them into a TARDIS. As it turns out, this isn't the Doctor's ship, but rather one that acted as an escape capsule for survivors in the Timeless Children. The Doctor clearly sets the ship to fold in on itself. It's one of the cool effects of the series, sending into the void to be destroyed. We've all seen some of the TARDISes disabled. Way back in the Time Meddler from the 60s, companions Vicky and Stephen put a stop to the evil plans of the monk. They took the dimensional control of his TARDIS. While sure, it could still be piloted, it was considerably smaller than usual. It left the monk unable to fit his arm in the ship, let alone pilot it. While destroying a TARDIS without sending it into the void would be catastrophic, there's always the possibility of just simply disabling it. So, our question. can the Tardis be destroyed? The short answer is yes. However, destroying it, according to some interpretations in Doctor Who's fluid and expansive lore, would also destroy most of the known universe. Anyone looking to strand the Doctor would be better off simply disabling it. For such a potentially destructive machine, it's very easy to break, as it has ever been shown, and it can be rather difficult to fix. Okay, well we hope you enjoyed this little Doctor Who theory and explain video. If you want to keep up to date on all the latest Doctor Who news, lore and more, then hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Tardis Central. You can also follow us on social media for daily updates on the Doctor Who universe. That's it from Tardis Central. I've been Jack, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.